Ahoj, deti. Ratafak mi dnes povedal, že sa s nami nudí, že tu nie je žiadna zábava. A tak mu Máša poradila, že ho zoberie na miesto, kde sa určite nudiť nebude.
Tak, a teraz som tu, a tu na tomto mieste som...
I don't know what this is, but it's kind of hot.
Hey, welcome to the channel. You may be a little bit confused by the clip I just showed you, but just let me explain. So this is ratafak platchta. He is a Czechoslovakian puppet from the kids show Slinieko. He first appeared on YouTube in 2008 with this YouTube video. The show Slinieko may have aired in between 1979 and 1989 and starred title character Slinieko. She's this glove. We have a teacher, which happens to weirdly change every few episodes. We have some children. Yes, there were children on this show. And we have our good old boy ratafak. Despite the show being named after her, Slinieko doesn't make a huge appearance. She's really only in the beginning and in between segments, but our main star is ratafak. So now that I've kind of gave you guys a little bit of knowledge about our boy, I think we need to go down the ratafak rabbit hole. Alright, to start our journey through the rabbit hole, we need to talk about when it aired. So, a lot of sources say it aired in between 1979 and 1989. But the Wikipedia page says it aired from 1980 to 1994, and then the Lost Media Wiki says it aired from 1979 to 1994. One of the most popular videos talking about ratafak, made by Blame It On George, he states that, quote, there is no Wikipedia article about him. There is, it's just that it's short and it's in Slovak. But we do get some good information from it, like we get to see who created him. When I try to Google him, it just shows pictures of old men and bodybuilders, also a tombstone with the same name. But one of the weirdest things I found is that he's tied to communism. Anyway, to explain this, you're gonna need a little bit of a history lesson. Okay, so between 1970 and 1990, Czechoslovakia was having a little bit of a rough time. It was the age of communism. And this would eventually result in the Velvet Revolution, which split Czechoslovakia into, guess the names they chose, Czech and Slovakia. And while it was happening, those filthy communists wanted children to attend church. So ratafak and the gang decided to air episodes on Sundays to discourage kids from going to church. Now, ratafak was actually created as a parody of the elderly politicians of Czechoslovakia. You know, ratafak kind of reminds me of two kids in a trench coat, probably because he is two kids in a trench coat. I really want to see a video of, like, this thing in the wild and seeing people's reactions to it. Like, if I went out in public wearing this, would children be scared?
Smejem sa hlasno. Dobrý deň. Poznáte ma?
Aha,
Dobrý. Pamätáte si na mňa?
nepamätám. Nepoznávate túto bábku? Nie, nie, nie.
Škoda. Ahoj, ahoj!
Now, it's time for a quick rundown of really weird facts about him. 2008, he showed up at the Miss Universe beauty pageant. But he was just kind of there. 2009, he ran for president of Slovakia. I wish I was joking.
Ratafak Plachta, váš prezident. Tok nových, silných myšlienok, nezvratnosť histórie, sila koreňov. Byť spoločne v hre, jednoducho byť spolu.
And in 2019, he made an appearance at the OTO Awards show. If you don't know, that's like a huge popularity show for like movies and TV shows in Slovakia. Apparently, he arrived in a limo smoking a cigar. I was trying to find footage of it, but you see, they don't have any because that happens to be one of the very few shows that no one has no information about. Now, looking into the show Slenjako itself, it was divided into 4 sections. First section had Slenjako herself give a monologue about the topic of the episode. Then we cut to ratafak, and he's doing his thing. Then the third segment is the children and a teacher. The ratafak one and the children teacher one, those were mostly put together, but they could be separate. And then the final segment is just a bunch of miscellaneous puppets, Now, with all of this knowledge, you might be asking, is it a good show? That's hard to say. Mostly because a lot of sources say that it has over 100 episodes, and some say it has closer to 500. And on my desperate search to find some footage to put in this video, do you know how many full episodes are available to the public? Take a wild guess. 32. So when I was trying to find a few episodes to review, I saw this disclaimer on the Lost Media Wiki. Well, okay then. This episode is called About Snakes. It starts with ratafak and the class talking about snakes. Nothing really starts to happen until a snake man comes in the room. And this segment is where the thing from earlier happens. So the man is holding a snake, and he's kind of just telling some information about it, and then he puts it in a glass box. And the kids go over to said glass box, and one of those monster children just grabs it. Now, I know snakes, they aren't the kind of animal you would really care if they got hurt, but it's still which can get them arrested. Overall, what would I give this? I'm gonna say a 2 out of 10. First few minutes were pretty good, again, because they had ratafak in them, but overall, the rest of the episode was very, just not good. Since I didn't want this video to end on a negative note, I decided to find another episode to review, and this one I think is my favorite thing ever.
This right here is my favorite thing ever. in the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
It's called What is Hidden in the Egg? Okay, so Slonieko gives a monologue about spring and flowers blossoming, because that's what flowers do in spring. Then we cut to ratafak talking to a group of eggs. And one of the eggs is being a little wimp and doesn't want to grow into a pretty chicken.
To sa skrýva pod tvojou škrupinkou.
Ale... si ty aj je čudné. Čo chceš byť len stále obyčajné vajce?
He wants to become a painted egg. I don't know if he knows this, but he's already painted. And ratafak and the other eggs try to explain to the egg why he should want to become a chick. But he's not budging. So Slonieko is back, and she's being kind of mean towards the poor egg. She's talking about how he's being kind of a wimp and why he should become an egg. And she also says that ratafak is trying to find a place to get him painted. So let's go in here. If we want to find a place to get eggs painted, where would you go? I know. A chicken farm. But before we get back to ratafak, we have to look at some absolutely beautiful video of chickens, and the teacher and the kids are just kind of talking about, I don't know, different kinds of eggs and what comes out of them. Stuff like that. Then we see ratafak and Balko. Yeah, so ratafak and Balko, which is the name of the egg, which we learned from Slonieko, they're in an egg hatchery. And they go up to this lady sorting eggs. I think she's like trying to sort the ones that can become chicks and ones that cannot become chicks. And we get a nice little lesson about how eggs, like what eggs do for chickens and stuff like that. And then there's a bad egg, and this lady throws it in the garbage can. Ratafak loses his crap.
No, vidíš to? Aw.
And him and Balko start panicking and they run. And then they see a few eggs about to go in the incubator. So, you know, the teacher starts talking about what the incubator does. Then we see them wandering around the hallways. Because again, ratafak is silly and he doesn't know what he's doing. And they see an incubator, and he thinks it's smart to go inside of it. Understandably, the alarms start going off, and the teacher and the kids are calmly explaining what will happen if the eggs are exposed to cold air, while ratafak just commits genocide against all of these eggs. Then a scientist band walks around the corner and catches them, and they flee the scene. Flee the scene? That's not a word. Then they flee the scene. That's the word. Sorry, I'm stupid. And then they're walking down the hallway again, casually murdered a few thousand chickens. And then they see a chicken conveyor belt. This is my favorite scene in the entire episode, because just look at how happy ratafak is. He's so silly, and it's just so funny watching him get excited with all the chicks and stuff. And for the next segment, ratafak decides to take him back to the classroom, and so Balko can get painted. And the rest of the episode is just miscellaneous puppets and stuff. Now, this is the best episode. It's 10 out of 10. ratafak really makes the show 10 times better. And I don't really know how to describe it. It's just so good and it's wholesome to watch. If you have an afternoon just to binge the whole series, or well, 32 episodes, you can find translated videos online. They're pretty good, except for the one. I'll leave this one in the description because this is the only one you really need to watch. Final thoughts. I don't think ratafak is creepy anymore.
Ah, good God! It's hideous, but beautiful in an ugly way.
When I first saw him, he creeped me out a little bit, but now just seeing what he was and just the silly character, he's just a really wholesome character. And I believe that every man, woman, and child should watch this show. And it's a real shame that not all the episodes are out. Mostly because Slovak television has all of them and won't release them. So there's only one thing we can do. Someone needs to buy the rights, and then someone can make translations for them. And if that happens and more episodes come out, I will definitely make a part 2 to this video. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. See you guys. End card segment. Welcome to the end card. I just have a few things I just want to tell you guys. So this video was an experiment. I wanted to see if you guys would like this kind of format. I know this is nothing like the other 8 videos on my YouTube channel. I hope you guys liked it. If you didn't, that's a shame. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I do have another video in the works.